Hey, okay, yes, this is recording. So you can hopefully see and maybe even hear by the ocean waves that behind me is the Pacific Ocean. And yes, I'm in Hawaii and it's lovely here and yay. Um, Hence, I just took a shower and took the salty grossness of the day off me. But I'm here and I said I would videotape from here, so I will. Sorry it's dark outside. You can't really Yeah, you can't really see the ocean, but that's okay. And you can see, oops, on this side, there, a little too much sun, but that's okay. Um, so what's new since last week? So last week was okay again. I'd still not say I was 100% back on track. I had again the middle of the week when I get really stressed out and want to just get cross, find myself still going to food. But I read a book this past week called "Why I'm So Smart." Why am I so smart and yet I'm still fat? Um, and it's this woman who goes has been studying under Martha Beck, who, if any of you guys have read any of her books about how to change your life in general, not just necessarily on weight loss, I have found them really inspirational and interesting. Anyway, she talks a lot about the hunger scale and really thinking about hunger. And I know that that's always been a big issue for me because I'm generally never that hungry, and eating food is not about being hungry, it's about having the munchies. And so, she talked a lot about the need to journal, and I've always found that really difficult to do because I'm like, it's really boring and it's calorie counting, which I don't, is not the issue. It's hunger counting for me is the issue, and really thinking about how hungry I am and getting into focus with what and when am I putting something in my mouth? Am I eating because it's dinner time or am I eating because I'm hungry? And am I actually allowing myself to get hungry, or is my need to eat more about comfort, and whether that's because I'm angry, frustrated, lonely, tired, happy, sad, fill in the blank here on the words you want to put in, because pretty much all of them make me want to eat. Um, Distracted, I think, is the only one that doesn't, or in company of people doesn't. Wow, my hair is curly when I let it dry naturally. Okay, we're just going to ignore my vanity moment there for a second. Anyway, so I have been trying while I've been in Hawaii to journal about my hunger. Um, and a couple of things I've noticed, which I'd be interested for you guys to think about, is one, because I'm thinking about my hunger, and it's really coming back to that concept of mindful eating that you hear about. Um, I'm certainly not successful all day, but like this morning, I got up and I had a cup of coffee, and I went for a run, which was great. And I came back and I was like, "You really should eat something because you just went on a 4 mile run and you haven't eaten anything all morning." And I wasn't really hungry, and so I had a half a papaya because I was like, "You should have something." And then I thought, well, really, why should you have something? Who says? Um, but I had it anyway. Now, about an hour later, I was full on hungry. Um, and I actually felt hunger. And I walked around a grocery store because I was getting food for lunch for that day. And two interesting things happened. One, I made healthier choices, I feel, in the grocery store about what I was purchasing. We had, just so you know, cucumbers, tomatoes, naan bread, guacamole, some chips, not so healthy, but still an option, um, hummus, and that was it for lunch. Um, and I really got pretty full on that. But anyway, back to my grocery store. I was full on hungry, wanted to eat something, and walked around the grocery store for a while trying to find something to satiate my hunger, and really couldn't find anything that really fit the bill on my health box as well as my hunger box, and so left while still feeling hungry. So that was an interesting experience today. The other thing I've noticed is that around the 4 or 5 o'clock hour every day since I've started doing this, I I do eat kind of mindlessly. I do want to just snack on something and I'm not hungry. And what happens is then soon after the 4 or 5 o'clock time, it's time to go to dinner. And I eat because it's dinner time and I'm not hugely hungry. Although, again, because I'm trying to be less mindless about my eating, I'm making better choices. So we went out to dinner at this nice restaurant last night, and I had the half portion of the dinner, and I just ate the fish and didn't eat the risotto, or at least I had like 3 tiny bites of the risotto that it was sitting on. Um, so while it's still not perfect, and I could have a whole rant about perfection and what that means, I think it's, again, heading in the right direction. On the fitness side, feel like I'm heading in the right direction. Actually, finally managed to get on the bike and biking to work a couple of days last week, which was great. And yes, so I live in San Francisco, so riding a bike is hard. There's a lot of hills, and they are practically vertical. And on the way to work, it's not so bad. On the way, at the end of the day, coming home, it's brutal. But it's a really great way of me getting in exercise. Um, that is kind of mandatory. Like if I ride my bike to work in the morning, that's actually not a big mental push. Coming home at the end of the day is a big mental push, getting motivated to bike, frankly, all the way to back uphill to my house, which is a big long hill that goes on for about 3 miles. Um, which really isn't far on a bike, but when it's uphill and against when it's tough, it's a much harder mental thing to do. But in reality, I have no choice because I got to get home. Um, plus, I really push my muscles to exhaustion. Anyway, um, so anyway, that I'm thinking about the hunger scale. Actually, does anyone know any apps out there? Like I've tried Lose It and MyFitnessPal and all of those calorie counting things, but they all talk about calorie counting. There's no hunger monitoring. Like, are you hungry? Um, apps to monitor, or websites even. Does anyone ever see anything like that? And I'd actually ask this out to the group as well. Is it about hunger for you too? Or are you actually still hungry? Because hunger is, frankly, non existent a lot of the time for me. Anyway, I hope you're all having fun. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my trip in Hawaii, and I will be back in chilly, not so fabulous San Francisco with straight hair next week. You all have a good one, and I will talk next week.